Good morning, St. Joseph Angels. It is May and time for a new virtue. I can't believe this is our last virtue of the school year. And you're going to see that it's one that kind of ties everything together. So our word today is the word zeal. Zeal. And someone who has or shows zeal would be called zealous. That's another form of the word that you will hear. Let's look at the meaning of that. It says that to have zeal or to be zealous means to be driven by an intense love for God. Just on fire, we might say, on fire for God. Another way to look at that would be to say, loving God so much that it gives you energy, right? It just fills you with energy that you love God so much. So I'd like you to think about something for a minute. We're just going to do some imagining, okay? I want you to think about a few people. I want you to imagine the star soccer player, or you can put any sport in there, star soccer player, football player, baseball player, that intensity that the star player has on the field. Can you picture them? They're running fast, they're diving for balls, they're giving it everything they have. They want to win so badly and they're so intense about it. They would be a zealous player. Okay? Another thing to imagine in PE class. Imagine the intensity that Mrs. Wallace sees when you all are playing capture the flag, right? Or some tag game in PE. Everybody wants to win. You just give it everything you have. You throw in hard and running fast and trying to help your team win, right? So you would be zealous in PE class. Think about those of you, this is not a sports related one. Think about someone in your class who loves to read books, or maybe it's even your teacher, but someone who loves to read books so much that they always have their book out. Anytime there's a free moment, they have the book out and their nose is in the book and they're reading. And they're sitting in the morning when other kids are visiting and they're reading their book. And after school, they're waiting for their parents to pick them up and they're reading their book. They are zealous readers. They can't wait to finish that book that they are reading. Right? So all the ways to be zealous. Okay, but now I want you to think about what would it look like if that same amount of intensity and zealousness, if you brought that into your love for the Lord. What if you loved the Lord and showed your love for the Lord with the same intensity you showed on the field or in PE, or when you're trying to finish reading that book? What would that look like? Well, it might look like things like at Mass when you're supposed to be singing and you're singing out loud and with energy, not just mumbling the words, but you're singing so that the people around you can hear you. That would be a great way to show that you're zealous for the Lord. What about responding to Father at Mass? There's a lot of times in a Catholic Mass that you have opportunity to respond back to Father, right? What if you did that in a voice that the people around you could hear instead of mumbling it and looking down? What if you said, and with your spirit, with energy, so that the people around you could hear it? That would be how to be zealous for the Lord. What if you talked to your friends about your faith, right? Some of you probably have friends that maybe aren't believers or they don't go to church, and they might make comments or have questions about church or the Lord, and you stepped up and answered that for them. You evangelized by sharing with them the message of all the things you've learned in school here. That would be a way to be zealous for the Lord, to show zeal, okay? So those are the ways in your faith that you can show that you have an intense love for God. There would be lots of ways that you can talk about in your classrooms with your teachers. Those were just a few examples. What if you loved the Lord and you showed that zeal for the Lord by doing things that would show that you're diligent in everything you do? To be diligent means that you just keep at it and you work so hard at it and you do what you're asked to do. Because remember, everything we have is a gift from God, right? Our ability to be a good reader, our ability to be good at math, our ability to speak in front of people, all of those are all gifts from God. And what if we showed that we are zealous for the love of God by using our gifts to the best of our ability all the time? We were diligent in using our gifts. We showed zealous behavior by using our gifts. For example, what if we were zealous in completing our homework? We were diligent and we showed our intense love for the Lord by saying, Lord, I know this is what my teacher asked me to do, and I'm going to get it done out of love for you. Maybe it's just getting your work done in class. Lord, out of great love for you, out of zeal for you, I'm going to get this classwork done that my teacher has asked me to do. What about showing respect for your teachers and your parents and your friends in the way you listen to them, that you talk to them, you talk with them, all of those things? What have you showed your intense love for the Lord by doing that in the best way that you possibly can, being zealous all the time in everything you do? So this month, depending on what grade you're in, you're going to read about some pretty amazing saints. We have St. Paul, St. Catherine of Siena, St. Francis Xavier. Those are three of the people you're going to read about. They are all fabulous examples of living their life of zeal. Talk especially right now about St. Paul. This is a great time of year to talk about him because he, sets out to evangelize the world. He is on fire with the Lord from the Holy Spirit, and he sets out to evangelize, and he is thrown in prison. He is beaten. He just has an amazing story, but he never gave up. He never stopped being zealous for the Lord, and so pay special attention to him as we're studying this month. Also, I was thinking about the prayer we've been doing at the end of the day, the Holy Spirit prayer. And we say in that prayer, enkindle in them the fire of your love. We're calling on the Holy Spirit. Enkindle in them the fire of your love. That fire of the love, that's what we're asking for in that prayer. We're asking for that feeling of zealous, how to be zealous for the Lord, how to have energy and be intense for the Lord, and in all things that we do, knowing that everything is gift. Okay, have a great month, and we will talk to you soon.